You're locked into the Boom and Freezer Show, powered by the best in the game, Classic Billiards, Metro Sports Bar, Anytime Billiards, PNW Pool Thing, The Rack Billiard Club, JP Shower, Tommy's Tattoo Supplies, In the Box, Andy Gow, and Wayne Harriman. Now, let's jump right into today's show.
All right, here we are, the Boom and Freezer Show. We've got special guest Oscar Dominguez, all the way from California. How's it going out there, Oscar?
Doing well. How are you?
Yeah, what's up, Oscar? It's the Freezer here. Do us a favor, guys, if you're watching, like, share, and subscribe. And we're lucky to have this young man, and you are still young to me, Oscar, on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's dive right into it. Obviously, the great showing you had at the U.S. Open last week. You know, you're playing really good. Of course, we were there following you and everything. And let's talk a little about that. How'd you feel out there? You haven't been playing in that many WNT events. We'll talk about that a little later. But let's talk about the U.S. Open, how you felt. And every time we watch, it seemed like you were playing with confidence.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I went to Saudi Arabia last month, and I was out there playing like 8 to 10 hours a day, just really putting in the work. I hadn't done that in a long, long time. And then I just wasn't happy with my game after that showing. Really funny. I got a new shaft. So I said, you know what? This shaft, I kind of like it. So I started hitting balls with it. I played with it for 4 hours. And I said, you know what? Screw it. Inside English feels better. A lot more. I like the aim point on it better. So I played with it for 4 hours and I took it to the U.S. Open. And I just felt really confident because everything I thought of that the way it should react was reacting. So, you know, when you're under pressure, you have to have full confidence in your shaft or else you're in trouble. So,
is it carbon? Was it carbon or wood, Oscar? Can you
wood.
tell us what it is?
It's wood. It's my shaft. So what happened was I had the original prototype shaft, and I never really messed with it. One of the ferrules cracked on it. I dropped it. Long story. So I changed the ferrule, and it never quite played the same. I increased the deflection on it when I changed the ferrule. So I went back to the original ferrule, and it's so much better.
I'm a wood guy too. We're both old school at heart. Obviously, your dad Ernesto is a world-class player in his own right. So it's interesting.
So I did carbon for 5 years, and it was there's a lot of benefits to it, but I feel like the control aspect I lost.
Yeah, there's I don't know who else listened to Federer's podcast with Joe last night, and something I didn't realize because I've tried to transfer to carbon, and I think it's great for certain people and not for others. There's benefits and pluses and minuses, but what they said last night, what Federer said, made a lot of sense to me. Is carbon actually deadens the hit. You don't feel near as much, or you don't get the feedback that you do within the wood, which is maybe why I didn't like it, and I just didn't know that, right? And it feels like you get a lot more draw power from the carbon, which players like yourself and myself don't necessarily need.
Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's definitely pros and cons of both. Now, if I lived in Indonesia, New Orleans, ultra wet conditions, where like mud tables where you need to create that much energy into that cue ball, by all means, carbon's the way to go. But, I mean, we play on slick conditions, new balls, tournament edition style tables. I mean, we're playing on a 9-foot table. How much power do you really need?
Right.
I mean, we're not playing on a 30-foot table.
Yeah, you're playing with, like you said, with the best cloth, the best balls, the best conditions too. So it's not like it's humid in there and stuff. So you're playing, you're feeling pretty good. You already make it to the final 64. What are you thinking? You thinking I got a shot this time? I'm feeling pretty good, or you're just thinking I'm going to just go out there and play my game?
No, I felt great. It's funny because I played my first match against a Canadian guy, French Canadian. He played out of his mind. This guy played so good on me, and I had never seen him before. I went heel with him. I beat him, and then winners qualify. I think I won another one, and to qualify, I lost to some guy from Poland. We both played a phenomenal match. Hill, he beat me, and And then I went to the loser side. I beat Ramadan, the Turkish guy who's beat me before. And then I beat the Ryan Su, the Taiwanese guy who got second to Joshua Filler last year at the World Championships. I think I beat him like 9-2. I played a great set. I just I knew I was playing really well. So when I got to the final 64, I'm like, if I maintain this level of play, it's going to take an elite level player to beat me. Um, like I'm talking like an FSR or Filler
Yeah.
or someone like that. It has to be a 820 and over type of player to beat me because I felt that confident.
And they had to play that speed too. They couldn't
They
have an
had to
off
play
night.
that
Yeah, they had
speed.
to play that
Right.
speed. Yeah.
Right. So um final 64, I played that Wojciech kid from Poland.
Wojciech Szczepka,
Yeah.
right? Wojciech, yeah.
Yeah.
That was that the match? Was that the match where the big rumble happened with the 9 balls at the end? Was that the match you squeaked
Yeah.
by? Well, those
Yes.
are the type of matches that you and I talked after that. Those are the type of matches you have to win, right? You have to get lucky sooner or later to win a match, and you were way behind, I think, correct?
7-0.
7-0
Wow.
behind. That's insane. And he's a world-class player.
Oh,
Um,
he played perfect. It was
yeah,
like I was in a coma. Like I didn't do anything wrong. Every time I played a gin safe, he kicked and like jumped it and hooked me behind 2 or 3 balls and just left me nothing. I had to like tie balls up. I had to do like superhero things just to give myself a chance to kind of fight back. But
to
he
give
would just
yourself a chance to give yourself a chance, right?
right. And I mean he was just breaking clusters up with inside English, nice and separated. It was gross how good he played. Um he scratched on the break. That's where I got my first chance to shoot. Um, and I just said, I felt, it's funny. I told my dad, even though I'm down 7-0, I still felt in my heart, I'm playing good enough to win. I can do the same thing back to him that he's been doing to me this whole match. So I said, all I got to do is get to 5 before he gets to the hill. That was my goal. Get to 5 before he gets on the hill.
Amazing.
And I got there um, 8-6. And I'm like, I think I got him. I think I got him. And then
Isn't that
Hill
funny?
Hill.
Isn't that funny? Sometimes it's 8-6. The way you feel, it's like you feel like you're leading, even though it's 8-6. Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy? This game sometimes, and you gotta know.
Well, it just goes to show you how powerful the mind is. Uh, the mental game can be your biggest ally or your worst enemy. Um, and when you're little Al always said this, and I've always, regurgitated his quote. When you're afraid to lose, you can never win. So I think I've gotten to the point of my career where I'm not afraid of losing. Like I don't give a shits, quite
I love
frankly.
it.
Just
I
I
love
just
it.
don't give a shits.
Yeah.
And I've detached myself from results. I just want to play good in the moment. And if it's good enough to win, that's fine. If it's not, well then I'll go play again. Um, and it's funny because at 8-6, I knew I was gonna win. I knew I should win. Hill, I broke, made 2 balls on the break, nice open layout, but I'm long and tough on that 3 ball because I made the 1-2 on the break. And all I got to do is just stun it across, but it's a tough opening shot, Hill. And it just rattles. I just barely missed it, left them in opening. And I'm like, God damn it. All that hard work. I was like sick. I'm like, this fucker's out. This guy hasn't made a mistake the whole match. I'm like, he's out. He got to the 7, got straight on the 8. I'm like, huh.
How was the 8? Was it like long and a little
No,
awkward straight, or
no,
was
he
he
was
close?
just, it was pretty comfortable. Cue ball was equivalent to center table, but the 8 ball's on the long rail.
He had to move the cue ball though.
Yeah, he had to draw the 9 ball back about 3 diamonds to get to the 9 ball on the side because he got 2 straight. He didn't want to shoot it in the corner. Instead of drawing it 3 diamonds, he drew like 1.5. He kind of just didn't go through the ball. The first time he hadn't gone through the ball, he's been going through the ball so smooth and so perfect. He looked human. He got goofy on the 9, butchered the 9, left me really tough. And then I missed the 9, but I left him pretty makeable, probably like an 80% shot under normal circumstances
To the corner or to the side?
to the corner.
Okay.
And he just butchered it 2 rails right into the rail, missed it terribly, left me a little bit frozen on the rail again. I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, just fucking miss good, right? Just leave
Yeah.
it hanging over the
Just
hole.
leave me a ducker, right?
Leave me a duck. Just
Yeah,
don't
that's
let me do anything.
it.
And I stayed flat on the ball and a nice follow through, and it went in pure, and it looked like I was smooth, but I was dogging it inside. You know what I
Of
mean?
course. The
I'm
heart
like,
rate's way up, right? The
I'm
heart
like,
rate's
oh,
way up.
I say, I better not fucking miss this hanger 9 ball because I'm gonna make it 95 out of 100,
Right, right.
and I better not fucking miss this ball.
Of course.
So I made it, and it was a really good confidence booster for sure.
And the crowd around it was really rooting for you. I mean,
Yeah,
I think everybody around watching your matches and just cheering you on. I think a lot of people were really, really rooting for you that match and the whole tournament, I guess.
yeah, it was fun, and but you know what? It was great. I mean, I actually reached out to Wojciech, and he actually reached out to me. Excuse me. Thank you for saying all those nice things about me and stuff like that. So, part of me, I know what it feels like when you dog it,
Of course.
and it's always a shitty thing to win like that. But at the same time, I kind of earned the opportunity for him to dog it by playing well to get those other 8 games on him. Like I played phenomenal to win those 8 games. And the last ninth game, well, I got a little fortunate, but hey,
Like you
I
said,
put my
he played perfect for 17 racks. At some point, you usually make a mistake somewhere. It just so
right,
happened it
right,
was the last ball.
right. It just so happened that the pressure got to him, and if I wasn't playing super smart and super well to win those 8 games, I never get the opportunity to win.
Yeah, it's the pressure that you applied to him is why he got short on the 9 in the
Right,
final rack, to be honest
right,
with you. So
yeah,
it's all a reaction to what you had done. So you
right,
have to give yourself credit there, in
yeah,
my opinion.
yeah. I agree.
Obviously, you can win matches. We know how that goes, right? But that's really, you and I talked right after you'd won that match with Shevchuk. But when you beat and win Antoine, he just should have beat SVB at the Battle of the Bull, and he played good in Florida. That guy, in my opinion, is overlooked. So when you beat him 10-6, I really started taking notice because at that time, I think that's when all the other Americans had dropped out except
Mhm.
you and Federer, right? So that's really when I felt like this kid's got a real fucking shot to do very well in this tournament.
Yeah, I mean,
You played good there. You had to play good there to beat that
yeah, I
kid.
did play good against him. I've played him before. Um, I've played him twice before, and I believe I've beaten him both times before.
Ah,
So mentally, here's the thing. You know what he reminds me of? I mean, we're old enough to understand this, and Bobby probably doesn't understand it because he's not on this part of the country. Rafael Martinez.
oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
if probably one of the most powerful and pure strokes this game has ever seen. You've
yeah,
seen him. When he's
yeah.
put high inside English on balls, he does some shit that humans should not do on a pool table. So T-Con's very similar in his approach and the way he attacks that cue ball. It's just so much confidence. He's just going through that cue ball. He's on the outer edge. It feels like he's liable to miscue at any given point in time because he's so far off that cue ball. I played with Raphael so many times and I learned a lot from him. I almost kind of got desensitized to the
Yes,
intimidation factor of a guy being able to put high inside English and go 4 rails type stuff. So
because you
when
knew it was coming, right?
I know it's coming,
You knew
it's
it's
not
coming.
impressive to me. It's
Right,
not
right,
as
right.
impressive to me because, again, Rafael Martinez really showed me a lot of great things of what's possible with the cue ball. Um, so when I played T-Con, it was actually honestly it was a very comfortable match. I felt confident. I knew I was playing good, and I mean it felt good, And I going into the match, I knew if I played him smart and I kept him on the defensive, not so wide open that I felt like I would beat him to the shot.
Yeah, it was an eye opener for me. I'm sure, and I know Bobby was paying attention as well. And then obviously, I was not paying attention to the charts until it obviously came out and you drew filler.
Mhm.
Obviously, I know you really well, 100%. You knew you could beat filler. You didn't. He beat you 10-4. Can you briefly go over what happened in the match?
Yeah, that was the first match I played with the shot clock. And
Oh, okay.
so we both know I'm a little
Matters.
bit on the slower player. And I hadn't played on a shot clock in a while.
It's
And
different.
it's different. And when they would say 10, my anxiety built up like that.
Sure.
And I'm like, what the freak is wrong with me? And I haven't practiced with the shot clock since Mosconi Cup. And that's a hard thing to admit when you feel like to say, hey, the shot clock got me. Like it really affected me more than I ever thought it would.
Well,
Um,
Oscar, let me stop you there real quick. Though we talk about it all the time. You are far from alone. These elite players that I shouldn't say elites because they're obviously not getting all the TV table time, but not only Mosconi Cup that you've experienced time and time again, but we talk about it as commentators. I see it happening to these greats all the time. If they're not getting TV table time during the event for whatever reason, man, people break down, and I can see why the shot clock can really get to you.
That
it really
10,
did.
that 10 is the one that gets a lot of people. I've noticed. When they say 10, you're getting down on your shot, and now you're thinking, oh man, am I even ready for this? You know what I mean? You get
Yeah.
down, and I see the same thing, like you said, with a couple other players as well. But it's been what, a year and a half since you played with the shot clock and shit, since Mosconi.
Yeah. I mean, 2017. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been
Wow.
2017 since you played for Team USA. 2017.
2017. Wow. That was in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah. I played, wait, when did I play? 2009, 2017, and 2003,
Little 2020 something. Yeah. No,
22,
22, right?
22.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you played in
22.
Yeah,
22.
22.
22. I played in 22.
Yeah.
But
Time goes by so
I don't
fast.
know. It just goes by quick. And it's so funny because I was talking to my good friend Steve Dunkel. I mean, you know him, Bobby. And Steve's a competitive shooter.
Yep.
Um, and he just sent me. I just picked it up from the mail today. Um, a gun shot clock, kind of like a for gun training for
Yep.
competitive shooters.
Yep.
So I'm gonna give that a try and get more comfortable shooting with the shot clock because I've never done that before. And it really showed. I think it made. I probably would have still lost to Filler, based on how well he was playing and things went his way. But I felt like I could have won two games more. Um, beat me 10-6, maybe 10-7.
If you win those two games, now it's 8-6, and then anything changes.
Right.
It's a
Things
big
can
difference.
change. Shit
Big difference.
happens.
Yeah, 8-6 and 9-4. Big swing. Big swings.
Yeah. But I mean, obviously Filler's the kid's a beast and he's a freak of nature.
He is a
So
beast.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's an incredible
I had
player.
it's hard to play guys who play for a living when you're not playing for a living anymore.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it shows up one or two games here and there and it just amplifies over the course of a tournament. So yeah, I mean, I was really happy with my run at the Open. I felt like I was playing good enough to beat anybody. It had to take like a guy like Filler or like an FSR, like I mentioned, for them to beat me. I felt so.
Well, congratulations, Oscar. I felt
Okay.
like you had a hell of a tournament, man.
Thank you.
And I was pulling for you. I
Thank
was
you.
pulling for you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I was too, and I was very proud of you too. And I do the shark stream as well. And I think one of our best pictures was I took a picture of you and your dad. You guys were practicing the break. I think it was right before your final 16th match. I think it was.
Mhm.
And so many people commented on that. I mean, how special is that to be there with your dad and just working on the game? Just the two of you. You're ready to play a big match on, and you got your dad there. That's got to be incredible.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because he stopped traveling with me probably I was probably like 26, 27 years old. So about 14 years ago,
13, 14 years. Yep.
13, 14 years ago, he stopped traveling so much just because his results were declining and stuff like that. So it was really cool just bring him around again and, hang out with him and shoot the shit and kind of, it's a lot tougher for him, because, he works a lot. You know, he can't really afford to go out there and donate. You know what I mean? And that's where he's at. He feels like. So I'm like, come on, Dad, let's go. And I took care of everything and just said, just come on out, have fun. Um, so yeah, I mean, it makes it all that much more special. It really does.
Do you think having your dad there deep down, because I kind of know this feeling a little bit, maybe deep down somewhere was just a little bit of an extra positive boost for you that you may not have even recognized
Um,
when you're trailing in a 7-0 position? Or is
yeah.
is it just that you're just playing that good? Do you ever think about that?
Yeah, I think I am playing that good just because
Yeah.
I felt the same way in Saudi
Right.
and he wasn't there, obviously. I've been feeling this way for a while now.
Awesome.
It's just I feel like I've I'm not bringing it all together. There's certain things that just come into play where I don't put in enough practice time and stuff like that, with the business, the kids, everything. And I just, I make a mistake that, quite frankly, it's very avoidable mistakes if I were just to dedicate a little bit more time to the sport. Um, but it's great to have my dad there just because he's always told me like, oh, Mijo, you got to do this, you got to do that. And I said, Dad, the game's changed a lot. It's not what it used to be. It's crazy how good everyone is playing.
Yeah. No
And
doubt.
this isn't 20 years ago where you had 16 players that were like here and everyone else is
It's
here.
insane.
It's
Absolutely
insane.
insane how many how many world class players are out there. There's literally 100 of them that we know of, and or more. It's
Oh
insane.
yeah, it's insane. And my dad's like, Miko, he's like, the level of competition today is stupid. It's crazy. So it was good for him to experience it firsthand, to kind of get,
It's
he
been
hadn't been
awe
in
to
a
see
double.
this, see all this,
Right.
right? Yeah, to see,
Yeah.
holy cow, yeah.
Yeah, so it was good for him and it was good for me and just to hang out with him just because, he's down in LA. My brothers are down in LA, so he's got his grandkids down there too. So, he's pulled in a lot of different directions,
Right.
but it's good to, spend some time with him.
I want to touch a little base on that. Like the players nowadays, obviously, I mean, you're not a senior player, not even by any means, but these young kids now with all the equipment that they have, like you said, the different shafts that they have and the cloth, the balls, everything is absolutely perfect. And
Mhm.
does you think that helps the game, like you said, or helps the players to get to the level where they're at right now?
I think it's a double-edged sword. I think it gives them to play to their full potential. However, I feel like it could be a handicap because they don't face adversity very well. By that, I mean is that when the conditions aren't ideal, when the cloth isn't perfect or the table isn't perfectly straight, it they almost self-destruct because oh my god, the tables are playing like shit and that's it. They kind of almost give up. Whereas I felt like in Scott in my era, um, we were playing on diamond tables, on Brunswicks, on so many different manufacturers that played completely different. Some pockets were cut different. The old blue circle cue balls that were like from the 60s that drew really easily but would be impossible to follow.
Yeah,
But
you'd have a measle ball in this pool room. You'd have a red circle in this pool room.
right,
You'd have a blue circle in this pool room.
it was crazy. So
It was insane.
we had faced adversity and we adjusted quicker. And I feel like whereas the newer generation, where if we're not playing on Simonis with aramith balls and pristine polished tables and everything,
Correct temperature and everything. You need
right?
everything.
They bend over.
I do think to that point, I agree. I agree. I think the players are spoiled compared to how we were, and that's true. But they don't know any different.
They don't
But
know.
I do think it's also relative, right? Like and I know you're going to agree with this because they can get beat by the next guy just as easily now. And I don't think that they're getting off of those tables anytime soon, right?
No.
Everything's going to be polished in the future from what it looks like.
Yeah, it seems like that's going to be the new trend. And this sport's all about trends, right? Uh,
Sure.
it's 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 just every 10 years something comes in. You got the one pocket era, you had the 10 ball era. Now nobody really plays 10 ball. Everyone's playing match room 9 ball. It's just uh, it's the flavor
Yeah.
of the month, I guess, or the flavor of the decade.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens in the next 10 years.
Yeah, it was funny. We talked to Jason Shaw a couple of weeks back, and he was saying the same thing when you have a money match, right? He says it's hard to keep it perfect for so many days, but if it's not perfect, what you're saying is what he's saying too. The players will complain, and it's hard to get perfect because sometimes the balls get a little smudged after 120 games. You can't clean them after every rack. You know what I mean? The cloth might get a little bit dirty, so
Yeah,
it's a big difference. And you obviously want to talk a little about that. You like to gamble, right? You like to play a little bit.
I do. I do like to play some. I like to play for lunch money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Oscar
and
will get up there, Bobby. He'll get up there and play. He's always been that guy.
yeah, I think he's probably the top American money player out there. I mean, you can call him right now. I think if his phone rang right now, he would answer it and set up a game with whoever it was. He's
Yeah.
always open. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I mean, you always seem to be ready for action. You're always looking for a fair game. You're one of the best guys to play against. I mean, everything I hear from you about you is, you're noble and you're honest, and you're always going to give a tough game. Let's talk about that. Like, where'd you get that drive from?
Definitely my dad. The first time I ever gambled in pool, I was 6 years old. I was playing pretty good on the bar table, so I was already a decent player. Kind of like a little bit of a prodigy, you can say. Some guy asked my dad for the 6 out in the breaks. My dad said, "Nice try, but you want to give that kid over there that spot that you're asking me for, you can get played." Played him 200 a set. I won $600, and
At 6 years old
at
or
6 years
5 years?
old,
That's
6 or 7.
amazing.
I was 6 or 7. Um, I mean, yeah, I've been gambling a long time. I think again, it's a double-edged sword. There's a lot of things you learn about life that's helped me throughout my even my business. The way you match up, the way you negotiate with people, understanding people, um, and then it's also the degeneracy because you start chasing that high. You know what I mean? It's never enough, and it's a slippery slope. Gambling's a very slippery slope, and I know Scott will say this with the utmost confidence. You wouldn't let your kids gamble for a living
No.
because it's it's feast or famine, and the lows stick with you a lot longer than the highs. The highs is just never enough. You get a taste for it. It's like no big deal. But the lows, when you hit those pitfalls, it's a very, very dangerous feeling. And it's funny because you say this because I'm gambling less now than I ever have in my life, and I'm making more money than I ever have in my life, in terms of with the
Same here.
business. Yeah,
Yep.
you understand.
Same
So
here.
the thing is, when we're young, we don't appreciate the value of say $10,000 for us. Like fuck it, it's one set. Let's go, flip the coin, easy come, easy go. But when you work for a living and you know the value of that $10,000 and how difficult it is to make it, and how 99% of the world values and appreciates those opportunities, it kind of we're in a warped sense of reality. Gamblers don't live in reality. We live in a separate world. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a great thing. Like it got me all over the world. I'm grateful for it. It turned me into the person who I am, who I'm happy with. But it is a very slippery slope.
That was really well said what you just said there though. And not picking on anyone, nobody, but the younger guys nowadays that don't really well, they'll never know kind of what we did in our era. And I struggled with it mentally a lot, right? Because you would have times where you would win a lot of money or a big amount of money, and then you'd go dry for months. And whether you got played or didn't get played, or if you happen to lose a smaller amount, like you just touched on, that smaller amount would affect you so much worse than whatever you did for 2 years prior. And
Right.
those ups and downs were probably not healthy, right?
No, no, no. And you know what's funny? I say this. My wife and I do marriage counseling, not because we're getting divorced or
Sure.
anything. We
Smart.
love going to counseling because we like to um, minimize our issues. We want to become better husband and wife, better partners, all this stuff. And we touched the gentleman, my therapist. He specialized in gambling. Desiree picked up for a reason, right?
Shout out to
Smart girl.
Desiree.
Yeah, smart girl.
Shout out.
So yeah, and the thing is, like, we've had lots of conversations about gambling and how dangerous that is, that slope, and where you're chasing the adrenaline rushes, the endorphins, and all that stuff. And um, I still love to gamble. I think
Of
it's an
course.
important part of who I am, but I think it was too big of a part of my life, and it was part of my identity. And I have so many great things going on in my life that it should be a very, very small smidgen corner of my life. I have so many great things going on, and that's why I like it. I was just talking to Emil Gangflot. He's in town from Norway, and I said, gambling isn't bad. Gambling is good for your game. It's how you are with the gambling and how it don't let it control you. That's where it becomes an issue.
Like
So
you were saying, when you're chasing the adrenaline rush and like I said, endorphins going through your system, it's not even about the money anymore. I've known players that win, like you said, 10, 15,000, and it doesn't even matter. They want the next game. They're looking
yeah,
for the next game. That the money had nothing to do with, you know, what the how they feel. It's all about the rush and the
right.
win.
Right. And that's where it gets really, really messy. And I try to give advice to a lot of younger kids out there. Um, you know, but some take the advice, some don't, and some are going to have to learn the hard way. And I'm very blessed to have an amazing support system at home. I have an incredible father and parents who worked their ass off to make sure that if I ever go bust, I wasn't going to go homeless. I was always going to have food on the table. I always had something to fall back on. So I think that's important, and not everyone is as fortunate where they go down and they go towards, substance abuse, and it's slippery slope. It just leads one thing to another. So definitely, now I gamble a lot less. I mean, sure, some of my matches are a little, high profile, like when I go to Colombia and stuff like that, I play those matches. But I do it because I love it. I love going into adverse situations, and I love the challenge. It's not really about the money anymore. I want to bust them and just stick it in them.
Yeah, you want to get the crowd. We want to get the crowd. Oh,
Yeah, fuck them. I just want to stick it to them. I mean, it's not even about the money. It could be for $100. It's
Absolutely.
it's it's
That
funny.
I know Scott
that
feels that too when he used to go to all the rooms and he just wants to make them sad. That's all he wants to do, right?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
remember
yeah.
remember my name. You know what I mean?
That match in Columbia was when Bobby and I were talking prior to you coming on. How long ago was that last match where you got? I'll just say you got absolutely fucking sharked at
Oh,
the end. What? How long ago was that
so
match?
that was last year, like June of
Okay,
last year. I was in
okay.
Ecuador. Um, and that's
Time
the thing
flies.
is
I
like,
thought it was a couple months ago. That's so good. 4 or 5
no,
months
I
ago.
went again to Colombia. That was in Colombia.
Oh, okay. All
So
right.
I lost twice, but I won a huge set out there. I won a massive set in Colombia. So I'm up big on the trip. Trust me. I, I'm not stressing about it. But I played a set for 8,000 in Ecuador, and they were. I've been to the Philippines. I've gambled with all of them. That was the worst situation I've ever seen in terms of sharking and just pure disrespect in terms of
Crazy.
like,
It's crazy. We watched it. It was nuts.
no, it was nuts. It's a shit show. And, they got me. No big deal. I paid
Yep.
off. Congratulations. I'm actually supposed to go out to Honduras on a diamond table to go play the same guy who beat me in Ecuador. And I said, you got to bet at least 10,000 or else I'm not going. Again, it's not about the money. I really
Sure.
don't do it. I should want to redeem myself. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so, yeah, I'm supposed
Do
to
you
go out there.
do you think that they'll try to reset that same atmosphere?
I won't play this time.
Well, are you gonna set that into the negotiations, or
Yeah,
how's that?
yeah,
How are you
yeah,
gonna do
yeah.
that?
I told him, I said, look, I'm gonna have space to shoot. The room owner is gonna make sure it's all taken care of. The room owner in Ecuador was betting with him. He was one of the stake horses. So
Okay.
obviously I was in a bad spot. But
Yeah, never
yeah, I
good when
mean,
the owner's on their side. Never good.
yeah. It's all good. I mean, here's the thing. I went out there and I wasn't sure what to expect. It's part of the
Who are you with?
process. With Carlos.
Yep. Okay. Shout out to Carlos.
Yeah, and Carlos, God bless him, he's not gonna make a big stink out of things either. You know what I mean? We're just gonna
Right.
take the worst of it and just try to play. But it's fun though. I mean, I still enjoy it. I've gotten a lot of fans from Latin America, um, and I feel like for me, I'm Mexican American. I'm still very proud of my Latin heritage, and um, I think it's good that I go out there and promote the sport out there. And um, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm one of the guys who brought Jesus Atencio to the U.S.
I knew that.
Oh
You
wow,
knew
I did not
that.
know that.
I knew that.
You
Wow,
knew
that's
Yeah.
that.
great.
I've known Jesus a long time, and I
Yeah.
knew that.
Manny Chow, my father helped bring Manny Chow to America.
And he was on my bonus ball team.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a very soft spot for all the Latin American players who don't have the same opportunities as Americans do in most of the world. So I try to help out wherever possible.
Pretty awesome. Good stuff, Oscar.
Let's switch up real quick. Still talk a little bit about gambling and talk about one of your good friends, Oscar, young Savannah Easton, and all the young juniors. They don't have to gamble to grow up like you guys did, and even me, playing $5, $10 sets. They have a whole nother platform where they can play junior events. They can play even world championships at a young age. So you don't have to gamble. Let's talk a little bit about that, Oscar.
Yeah, I mean, Savannah's a very impressionable young lady. She's I've been working with her quite a bit recently. Larry and I are really good friends, and so is Tiffany, obviously with Desiree. Um, it's different. They don't have to do all that. I see a couple of the juniors that are just focusing on the gambling just because it's very instantaneous gratification. It's the Tinder generation. And you know what I mean? It's not meaningful. It's not long term, and it's not sustainable.
I guess I'm out of the loop, Oscar. Are these juniors like really gambling high? Because I'm not against like playing $50 sets with each other. I think that's great
Correct.
training, right?
Um,
Or is it something that's like, do you think they're going down this dark road? Because to me, and maybe I'm wrong, to me, gambling's like done almost.
All right.
yeah, it's definitely a dying breed, but I do see some juniors that are probably gambling above their means just based on
Okay.
the way they're reacting when they're losing.
Okay.
I see it because I went through it.
I get it.
You know
Been
what I
there.
mean?
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
1,200 and you're betting, $1,500 sets, and you have to
Yeah.
borrow the 300 to fork over.
It's not healthy. It's not good.
It's
period.
not healthy, and I see it, and I'm starting to watch it, and I'm like, oh, you probably shouldn't be gambling that much, kid. But Savannah's got such a great foundation. Sophia, um, and I see a lot of the juniors that are out there. What's his name?
Well, I know Hayden Ernst, who's
Oh.
just done really well, and his dad is just, I believe his name is Chad. We've known each other forever.
Yeah.
What a great guy he is. But I'm pretty shocked at how many good players there are out there. I didn't realize how many great players, because I'm always traveling, always kind of and delved in the World Nine Ball Tour, but I'm really excited to see what's happening.
Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, I think they're focusing on tournaments, they're focusing on the junior stuff. And I mean, you're seeing the representation of, for example, the juniors like Landon Hollingsworth and Payne McBride's, the Savannahs, the Sophias. When it comes to the pro events, um, they're holding their own and they're doing pretty damn well.
And there's no better training. There's
There's
no
no
better
better training.
training. There's
Yeah,
no better training on earth.
yeah. And
You guys,
I
you guys never had that, right, Oscar?
No,
There was nothing for you to play as a young age, same as you, Scott.
oh,
no,
Bobby. It's a whole different era. Like I'm 40. I just turned 40 this year. When I wanted to play better, I had to go to the Philippines to go play tournaments and go gamble with everybody, or I had to go to Indonesia or Taiwan. I'm out there for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I'm gambling for 25 straight days, 200 a set, 500 a set, 300 a set. I mean, that's what I had to do to get the seasoning. And these kids are so damn spoiled with the WNT and WPA and all these events. They have to say no to tournaments. Me and Scott, we'd be sitting with our thumb up our butts waiting for the
yeah,
next tournament because we didn't have anything to do.
they really don't know how good they have it. But I'm proud of them and I'm happy for them. I truly am. I just wish I was born 25 years ago.
No shit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Put me in my prime back when there were so many tournaments.
Well, it'd be different, right? Because our focus and aim point would be a lot different than
Yeah.
where it is now. And during our era, I think, I don't know, I'm 10 years older than you. I'm 50. You're 40, right, Oscar?
Yeah, 40,
Yeah.
1985.
I had, I think, 5 tours ripped out from underneath me. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? We were always promised the moon and stars. So I'm super happy that I'm able to see it actually starting to happen. And I don't think it's going to go backwards anytime soon.
I don't see it. I don't see
No.
anything changing because it's becoming more and more lucrative. And let's be real, money talks, bullshit walks.
Yeah.
Um, and that's the thing about the WNT. It's created a viable, sustainable business model, and um, it's bringing in. They're showing. I'm sure Emily's showing the P&Ls to Barry before he writes the checks.
Yeah.
And if the profits and losses are showing positives, they're going to keep signing those checks over, and the players are going to be benefiting. Her
Absolutely.
paycheck's going to get better. Everyone's paycheck's going to get better.
Yeah.
So,
And we've never seen tournament players earning what they're earning now. I mean,
no chance.
I don't know about you, but what was it? 15 years ago, 10 years, 12 years ago? I never dreamed that the top 10 players in the world, one of them would be making over $500,000 in a year,
No chance.
300,000. But that's just tournament money, right? We both know that those top guys are doing very well on the side as well as far as their deals.
Yeah, totally. I mean, their deals are getting more and more lucrative. People are forking over bigger money. The sport's growing at an astronomical pace. Um,
It's awesome.
it's awesome. It's a lot of great things.
I want to talk a little bit about your sponsorship. We actually, the Shark Stream just got sponsored with Brunswick as well. How's it been since you've been with Team Brunswick? You like them, and that was a big deal for you, right?
Yeah, Nick and Jacqueline are a breeze to work with. Shout out to everybody at Q and Case in Brunswick. It was funny because my contract ended with Predator, or I should say, I ended it with them. And I didn't want to go with anybody. I didn't want to deal with anybody. I wanted to play with the custom cue and do whatever I wanted. I wanted to have a Q-Tech jump cue and a Predator brake shaft and a Southwest plank.
Whatever you wanted to, whatever you wanted.
Yeah, I wanted to be sponsored by Coca-Cola and Pepsi. I had no qualms about it. And then Nick at Lucasi in Brunswick reached out to me, and he offered me a good deal, and I'm like, it's not about the money for me. I really don't give a shit. If I want to make money, I go to work. If you want to do something, let's make a shaft together, make a Q line, and do everything right. And Snap called me, put me in a spot where I couldn't say no. And yeah, it's been an incredible relationship ever since. And working with them along the Gold Crown 7 and helping with the design and the pool table mechanic aspects of it. It's just been pretty amazing.
Yeah,
So
those Gold Crown sevens, we see them at the expo this year. They look magnificent. I mean, the way they put together and like you said, I think they said they listen to you and they listen to a lot of other pros, and they actually listened and they did
Mark,
what they need to do at the table, which is
Mark,
very rare for companies.
yeah,
yeah,
you're
Mark.
right. Mark Gregory, who I speak to a lot, I grew up around. He's before my era, actually, and I played him when we were young. He was a great player in his own right. Mark Gregory, best table mechanic. I don't want to say that with you and your dad, Oscar, because you guys are world class, but they say best table mechanic in the world, but great guy. He had a massive influence on the Gold Crown
He
7.
he did. Massive influence. He helped Mark's very eccentric, but he knows
Yes.
his shit. He knows his shit.
Yeah.
Um, and I think he does a better job than my father of putting it into words, in terms of like what he wants out of the table. Because my dad's, not formally educated, and he probably can't speak, you know, in terms of proper, to these mechanical engineers and these other,
Right. The
college
wording, the
educated
correct
guys.
wording. Yeah, the
The
wording
correct
is what you're
wording.
saying.
He
Yeah.
can't find the words. His English isn't
Yep.
perfect.
Yep.
But and I
But
think Mark,
their work is similar. Their work
their
is
work is similar.
very
Yeah.
similar. Yeah.
But yeah, Mark's been doing a great job with Brunswick, and it's great to have Brunswick because Diamond's such a phenomenal table maker. You have Raston is doing a great job with all their lines, and now you got Brunswick coming into the game, and I think competition's healthy. Now you have another big player with a big checkbook that can write some big checks, pump money into the sport. So now it's going to raise that bar for Diamond and for Rasson to match or exceed whatever Brunswick's going to be coming in with. And the only people who are benefiting is the players and the industry as a whole. When there's more money involved, it's just going to start trickling down in different areas. Um, and I think it's pretty awesome. I look forward to it. Um, and it's just been nothing but positives working with Brunswick and Lucasi.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I look
Yeah,
forward to it as well.
I agree. I think we're getting the Yale Billiards, what I own as well. We're getting our first two tables in October. We're getting two of the Gold Crown sevens. I'm excited about that. I talked to Nick. He's going to come here. We're going to video it a little bit. The build up of them. I'm real excited about it. Really excited
Yeah,
about those
I think
tables.
I think mine are coming in September, so
Yeah.
I'm getting 32 or 33, whatever it is.
Oh, so you're in the first lot. It's the first lot. I'm getting two of the first lot. You must be
Yeah,
getting the big chunk of them. That's awesome.
yeah,
That's
I'm getting a
awesome.
whole bunch of them, and I'm keeping my diamonds because I do plan on opening up another pool room. So right now, I'm in the process of trying to negotiate to buy the whole building, the whole strip mall. So that's a big project on my mind. And hopefully with a little bit of help with with the right people, and I can get it going.
I think
Let's
you'll get it.
go.
Yeah, that's huge. That's a big deal for sure.
Yeah,
Good
it's
stuff.
huge, and the thing is, like I told my wife, is like I really don't care about making more money and stuff. I just want to secure the future of the business by purchasing the building.
Yep.
Um, I do have a great lease, so I can't complain. I will never complain. I have an amazing lease here, and I can extend it 15 years or whatever I want. But it would be nice to have something when, you know, Desiree and I are long gone, to leave for my girls to have some type of steady source of income through rental incomes.
Nice.
So,
Awesome.
That's
yeah,
good
that's
stuff.
the dream, right?
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk a little bit about WNT.
Mhm.
Obviously, last year was real rough for you and Mosconi. There was so much chatter both ways. Every which way, every comment was read was either way. You should have been on. You should have been on. This, that, the other thing. I think the majority of the people feel that you should have been on Mosconi.
Mhm.
And we heard you a couple times, but I want to hear, how do you feel about that whole decision last year? And did that change you from not playing as many WNT events this year? Because we noticed you played just the majors this last year.
I'd be lying through my teeth if I told you that it did not affect my decisions. I felt, the thing is,
Well, how did you feel? Tell us. Tell
Yeah.
us, like, really, how did you feel right away? You had to be hurt, right?
It was very painful. This one
Yeah.
hurt me more than usual.
Yeah. And you say more than usual because it's not the first time, as
It's
I
not the
know.
first time, yeah. So
Yeah.
this one was really painful just because I had played so well and beaten so many top players throughout the whole year, gambling and tournament play. Um, I kind of felt like there's no way. And I remember Desiree saying, "Honey, you're probably not going to get it." I'm like, "There's no way I can get snubbed this year. There's just no way." I beat Filler. I beat everybody. Jason in Scotland. I beat him on the home court. I made so many great results. There's no way. And then I got the phone call the night before from Skylar, which I'm very grateful for that. I did go on record saying that I appreciate him reaching out to me before he made the announcement. I'm sure it wasn't easy for him to do that.
No.
So, um, but yeah.
He was in a. I remember this time very well. He was in a really tough spot. Obviously, Billy won the Battle of the Bowl, had just quit drinking. It was really a tough spot for you to be in with that situation.
hmm But you know what? I just
You handled it with class, Oscar.
Yes, you
thank you.
did. Yes, you did.
Thank you. It wasn't easy. I'd be lying to you if I said it wasn't easy. Where I just didn't want to go on stone fucking tilt. Just,
Yeah.
but
Understandable. It's understandable.
so it's funny you say all this because obviously I did really well here at the U.S. Open, and I have a legit chance of squeezing in there, right? If I go to
Oh,
Vietnam and the Philippines and all that
100%.
stuff.
100%.
So Lucas reached out to me actually. He says, "You're going to go to Vietnam, right?" I said, "No." He
Really?
said, "Why not?" He's like, "You have a chance." I'm like, "I'm not going to do that to myself again because I don't know how I'm going to handle it if I get in fourth place again and I get skipped over again.
Well, here's
And I
what I can
don't want
say
to
to that.
I don't want to do that to my family, and I don't want to do that to myself."
Yeah, you've tasted the pain.
Mhm.
Yeah, Carl Boys and I talk about tasting the pain. You know, you've tasted the pain your whole career, right?
Mhm.
Whether it's a gambling loss or this loss or that loss, and sooner or later, those tastes of pain get a little heavier when you get more mature. You have more important things going on in your life, and then you take the blow that you took last year. Um, I, I guess what I'm trying to say is I get it. I completely get it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not going to chase. I made that promise to myself earlier this year. Um, I did promise myself to play all the majors, and I didn't do that. So I missed the UK Open, European Open.
You
Uh,
think if you played them, you'd be top three? I mean, you're so close
yeah,
right
I
there
think
right now.
I would have done really well. But my kids are only young ones. You know, I it's harder and harder. I went to Saudi Arabia, and my 7-year-old tells me, "Daddy, don't go. Stay home with me." And I'm like, "Oh." She had never told
Stop.
me that before. She just never said anything like that.
Yeah,
And it's just like, oh God, why'd you do that to me?
yeah.
And
It's tough.
so it's tougher. It's different. I can't get away with being gone a lot because the kids are getting to that age where they're understanding the concept of time and daddy being gone, being on an airplane and all that stuff. So it's I don't know. It's WNT is a wonderful thing. It's a beautiful thing for the
You
sport. But it's a single man's lifestyle. It's not ideal for someone who has two businesses, 21 employees. I have a lot of overhead. If I'm not making X amount of dollars every month, I'm in the negative, and that's not a easy thing to fade sometimes. Um, I'm very blessed that this business has been here for a long time and it does well, but I also have to make sure I allocate my time a little bit better.
I'm going to go with two quick questions on both of those theories. One, first of all, how do you do that? How do you juggle? I'm a pool room owner as well. No, I'm not a professional, but I do travel a lot, for my thing. How do you juggle all that? Not only this year, but even the previous years when you were chasing the WNT. How did you juggle having a pool room, having the family, and going on the road sometimes a month at a time?
I wasn't doing well. I have an incredible wife that
Yeah,
I threw my luggage on her, and she carried it like a champ, and she took it all, and she never complained.
that's
Um,
awesome.
Shout out
but
to Desiree.
yeah, shout out to Desiree. And I think it's important to realize Desiree's not very good at saying no to me. She will show off. You want to do that, go ahead.
Erica's the same way.
Yeah.
So I I took advantage of that, I think. I wouldn't say I took advantage of it. I made too many decisions without really discussing it with her. And I think I'm trying to do a better job of that, of taking her into consideration behind my decisions. Um, because it's an unnecessary thing to do. You know what I mean?
I
Like the
do.
world, yeah, it's like the World Championships. I told her U.S. Open, World Championships. I want to play those. I want to do that. Those are like my non-negotiable events. And then everything else really should, as long as it's convenient for the family and everything, we're able to swing it.
The
So
other
yeah,
question, the other question I was going to ask you, great answer, by the way. Great
thank you.
stuff. Great stuff. Now, are you going to Hanoi, or are you going to any one of those events, or are you going to neither? And do you think, what part of you inside of you say, you know what, I want to go to these last four, and just to show everybody I'm going to do it and I'm going to take it? How do you fight with that at all?
He just said he wasn't going to Hanoi.
I know you said Hanoi, Philippines, and there's a
what
lot
I
of them.
was
Harry, I was saying all of them.
what I was going to say, because I know this guy, I've
Yeah.
known him since we were young, is there is a, I'm not going to say a big outside chance. There's that big outside chance that last minute something might look good to him and he might just catch a freaking flight.
That's
I
what
know
I'm
him.
saying. What's there's got to be something in you that's fighting a little bit. It has to be.
So Bobby, I feel like no pool player can achieve pro status, or let's say 720 Fargo, unless we have some type of ego or we have an extremely competitive spirit. It's a very, very difficult thing for me to say no. So I just turned down my invite to Indonesia for the World 8 Ball and Scotch doubles to play with SVB. I turned down the chance to play Scotch doubles 10 ball with SVB, the second best 10 ball player in the world. I turned it down. You know
When
how
did
hard
that
that
happen?
was? Huh?
When did you turn that down?
2 days ago.
Really?
Wow.
That was hard.
I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh fuck! I'm a little sick about it still because I know I can win the tournament with that fucking Shane. It's 10 ball.
and how you're playing, of course.
Right.
Yeah,
And we're
for
both
sure.
playing well. And I did turn down the World 10 ball, the Predator event, just because I'm not traveling halfway across the world to play races to four. I think that's a fucking joke.
Amen.
I
Amen.
think their format is they're trying to model it off of tennis, but they're not pool players and they're not out there spending the money because their expenses are comped by Predator. Mine aren't. So I'm not going to go travel halfway across the world to play a jack off tournament format.
On
Just
big pockets, by the way.
On big pockets. Oh, go get the
Race
fuck
to
out of
four.
here.
Yeah.
Race to four. Get the fuck out of here. Shoot spot shots for the winner.
Oh,
Get the
boy.
fuck out of here. That makes me puke.
It's gross.
What a joke. That's why
It's
you see
gross.
people who should never win a tournament. I don't understand what's wrong with Feder Gorst, Filler, Yap, what's wrong with them winning most of the tournaments? They're the best
Nothing.
players.
That's how it is. That's how sports
Right.
are.
Right.
That's how
100%.
sports are.
That's why Tom Brady won, right? He won because he was good enough to win.
Tiger Woods won all
That's
these
right.
wood. Now
Yeah.
everyone else is going to play in a cup this big because Tiger Woods is too good. No, let the best players win. God bless them. and I just don't understand the format of like, oh, let's make it more luck so that weaker players can win. Who gives a shit? If I'm not good enough to win, then go get a job.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm
so
That's
with
why I
you.
work. That's why I work.
Well, that format's just really, really not great for looking at it from a player's perspective. Since day one, I was
It's a
completely
joke.
puzzled. I was completely puzzled.
Yeah, it's a
But
joke. But yeah, I
whatever.
mean, I've looked at flights. I'd be lying to you if I just looked at flights and I'm talking to Desiree about it, and she's like, "You
I mean, there's
say."
three events or two events, three events right next to each other. You know, you got the
So we got the
Perry,
Perry.
the Hanoi, and the Philippines.
So it's funny. I just talked to my wife about it. It looks like I might go to the Philippines.
Okay.
But I'm not going to stay out there for an extra week. My time's too valuable. So either I do Hanoi in Vietnam, or I do it just to the Philippines. I don't think I can do both trips. Just again, because I know my wife and I know she's probably going to say, go ahead, but
You
it's
got to
not.
do what's most important to you and what your gut tells you, right? Because it sounds like you're thinking the right way. You're growing up. I mean, I've
Yeah.
completely changed in the last decade. And it started probably around 40 for me. But not you and I are different people, obviously, but you're really growing up. And I think that's most important because we only have one life left, right? And
Yeah.
that's all we have, right? So, but you've got to be able to manage your time with your family.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know. I mean, there is an outside chance that I do go to Vietnam. I just got an email about, oh, Oscar, you haven't sent your entry fee yet, and you're in the top 64 players in the WNT or whatever. And I feel like I'm playing really well, and I feel like I know I would do well. I know I'd go deep in at least one, if not both, or all three events. I know I will. I'm feel that comfortable and confident in my game. But
It's tough not to go when you I know that feeling. It's tough not to go when you feel like that. That's the part that's deep down inside of you that you can't ignore, in my opinion. And that you the pool player cannot ignore. It's so
right,
tough to ignore that
yeah, it
part.
is.
Yeah.
Um, and I think you know what? It's so funny. I was thinking about this last night. Couldn't really sleep, and I said, you know what? If I don't go next year, I really want to concentrate, select my events very carefully to where I can pick and choose some really solid events and have enough time to spend with the family, pick and choose. Um, I'm thinking about going to the All Japan in November. That's not a WNT event
Sure.
because I want to take Desiree to Tokyo and Osaka. And
Uh,
I made a promise to my daughter. I made a promise to myself that I was going to take my daughter to every Disney park in the world. That was my promise to myself. The moment I found out I had a daughter, I made that promise to myself. I want to take her to every Disney park in the world. So she's been to
Impressive.
Disney World. She's been to Disneyland. So I have to take her to. I've taken Desiree to Paris because Desiree is a huge Disney girl.
Oh my
So
gosh, Erica's the biggest I know. She lives. Our whole house is Disney, by the way. Our
yeah,
whole.
okay. So Desiree's the same way, and
Okay.
Phil's wife Danielle, same thing. Um, I've taken Desiree to Shanghai, uh, Disneyland Paris, Disney World, and Disneyland. So the only two I have is Tokyo and Hong Kong, and I'm covered. So I'm thinking I really want to take her out to Disney, Tokyo Disney in November, just so I can check that box off. And then, if we're out there, maybe go to Hong Kong too. What the hell?
I heard it's cool. Really. I heard Hong Kong's amazing. So
Yeah, I heard it's. I've been to the airport many times, but never outside the airport.
yeah.
So if you went there, you'd play in a tournament as well, as what you're saying? The Pan Am game, what you said?
The All Japan Open.
Ultra Pan Open. Okay. So you play
Yeah,
pool and go to Disney. That might not be a bad thing, right? Really, some
yeah. I
family time
figure
and
just make some extra money, and take the wife and my daughter to Disney World or Tokyo Disney. What the hell?
Yeah, how special is it like being a pro player? I mean, like I said, you've been to Hong Kong, the airport, you've been to a lot of big places. Being a
Mhm.
pro player, sometimes you don't make the most money. It seems like the money's coming around a little bit, but you have traveled the world. You played a lot of big matches. You go, like you said, travel for big money matches. How does that make you feel being a pro? And is that something you enjoy traveling now, or you don't like it anymore?
Oh, I love it still. I still love. I'm a big person on adventure. I love adventures. Um, Anything that's new, I'm all about. So my daughter, my oldest one, was born in 2017. Um, and my goal was to take her to one new country every year. So she celebrated her first birthday in Moscow. I took her to the Netherlands, Iceland, um, and then COVID happened. So everything slowed down. And I want to fulfill that obligation, that kind of things. I want to show my kids, and obviously my wife as well, I want to show them everything I've experienced. I want them to see what the Great Wall of China looks like, not in a book, but actually see it. I want them to, you know, to breathe fresh air out in Finland. You know what I mean? Like you can, it's, those are life experiences that I wish I can bottle up and give it to my kids and to my wife, just because it's such a beautiful thing. Um, and one thing's like reading a book or seeing it on TV, and the other one's actually experiencing it. And there's nothing like it.
Stuff, good stuff. Yeah, and it's almost like it'd be nice if you can share that with everybody, right? Like the whole world. Like so many people don't be able to experience what you've experienced and what you're trying to show your daughters.
Yeah.
Being a pool player, like when the Spaniards come and hang out, we talk about different cultures and different places, and it's amazing what you got to experience being a professional, right?
Oh yeah, it's crazy the things you experience and the stories you get. I mean, that's a good thing that I have with my dad. We've been all over the world together. Um, I have some stories that I should probably put in a book one day. And just a lot of fun, a lot of crazy situations. Like a taxi driver driving in reverse on the highway in the Philippines, on a busy highway, like 8-lane highway. The guy's just driving in reverse. And, me
Normal,
and my
like it was
dad,
normal, right? Like it
like
was
it's
normal.
normal. I mean, and me and my dad are always joke about that. And, and this happened back in 2003, 2004, over 20 years ago. And, we just, it's our, it's our own personal connection. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I actually listening to talk. Eric and I talk about it all the time. I travel so much. The problem is, and I get to see everything. The problem is that I'm literally working the whole time. Expenses are kind of paid for. Grateful for Matchroom, but I'm literally working the whole time. So I'm trying to figure out how I can do both, right? We have two dogs and three cats and a nice home, and she works. So I don't know. Listening to you talk about this makes me think about it even more. So it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Book your flight 2 days early or stay
I
two
know.
days. 2 days later. I wouldn't suggest earlier just because you're getting over the jet lag and you're trying
Yes.
to do it 2 days after. Once everything shuts down and you have a clear mind, you don't have to worry about work. Stay 2 days later. Fuck it.
You're
It's
right.
the cost is marginal. That's my
Yes.
biggest regret in life is that I've been all over the world. And again, I was like you, I was going from pool hall to pool hall to pool hall gambling. I really didn't see much,
No. No.
and it's I kind of wish I would have
Stopped and
taken
smelled the roses.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a little bit from the gambling culture more than from what I see. And I'm expected on the outside looking in, not like you guys, but I see the more the pros. They when they play in the tournaments, they go out and enjoy a little bit more. Where the gamblers, they're in the pool room 24/7. They're not
Yeah.
leaving because again, they're chasing that high and they're not going to go anywhere no matter what. Where the pros, they play their match and they're going to go to a soccer game or go to a baseball game. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah,
Makes total
that
sense.
yeah, and we had to make the money back then. So if you left the pool room, it never failed. The minute you left a pool room, Oscar already knows where I'm going with this. You could wait there for frickin' 12 hours, and the minute you leave, the money you wanted to make is probably going to be taken by somebody else. So you just couldn't leave the room, right? And now these players are very fortunate. Hence, Matchroom's killing it, doing a great job with everything they're doing. So they have the ability to live a normal life somewhat alongside that.
Totally agree.
Let's talk a little bit, Scott, about you and Scott a little bit. You guys, I talked to him a little bit before. And we talked about two things. First of all, what's your biggest match that impacted your career back and forth? And can you talk a little bit about you and Scott? He said you guys played some tournament champions, some state championships over the years. You remember those battles?
Oscar and I have been playing for, I don't even know, dude. We've never gambled with each other. I don't know how many. We seem to always draw each other.
Always. We're like
Always early,
Always.
like early
we're
on,
connected at the hips.
Always.
Always.
I mean, we've probably, I have no idea what our win-loss record is. We've played, I would guarantee you 30 times in tournament matches.
I think
probably more.
I think you tortured me the first maybe 6 to 10 times. And then I balanced out the score later on in my career, but I felt like
I feel the same. I think you tortured me.
No, I don't think it torture, but I think I find it, I try to maybe the last 8 to 10 matches I probably got maybe 60% of them. But
yeah, you owned the Mez Tour. I was telling Bobby
Mhm.
off camera. You owned the Mez Tour. I owned the Diamond Pool Tour.
Mhm.
And really, if for a long time, actually, the West Coast was where it was, right? For pool, we had big events in like a tri-state area, Nevada, California, Arizona, for a long time,
Yeah, it was great. I mean, pool was vibrant and booming, and now I own
Yeah.
the Lucasi Tour. Um,
Oh, so you do
I want to talk
you have a
about that.
tour? You have a tour right now?
yeah,
That's what I thought. Okay, I was reading the notes and I misread it. I thought
You're
that
you're trying to bring it back, right? You're trying to bring a tour back. It's kind of new, right?
yeah, it's relatively new. I've been doing it for 1 year. Molina Mike is actually a partner of mine, just because I
sweet.
can't do it all myself. And then my wife is obviously the TDs, and yeah, I mean, we did the first season. We have 2 events left. We should
Pros
finish off
open or either both pros
So
events.
it's I'm doing the same format that I did on the Mez tour. It's a competitive handicap, I call it. Pros go to 9.
The best
Semi
handicap.
Yeah. So if you're 720 and over, you go race to 9. 719 to 651, you go to 8. 650 to 550, you go to 7. And then 549 and below, you go to 6. Alternate break, all 9 ball, matchroom rule style format. So
Alternate break is a must in my opinion on bigger pockets. I don't know if you guys are playing on bigger pockets, but
yeah,
I
from
think that's
Peru.
yeah, it's the best format you can have. On tighter pockets, on 4-inch pockets, alternate break isn't such a big deal. You rarely see these guys running big packages, but I think that's the best format you could have.
Yeah, it kind of gives everybody kind of a fighting chance to at least cash and do well. Yes, the better players win at the end,
Sure.
but we're winning 9 to 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a grind 9-7 with the handicap. It's like,
They have a
I'm only
chance.
two.
People have a chance, and they do win occasionally. So it's
Yeah,
better than getting slopped 9-0 every time. I know what you're saying.
yeah. So it gives them a realistic chance of being competitive, and yeah, I mean it's successful, and I am going to do it next year again, um, just because I feel like I want to nurture the sport of pool in the Western United States, especially in my area, in California as a whole, because I own a pool hall. I want
Of
my business
course.
to keep booming,
Of course,
obviously, right?
of course, of course.
I want to be able to make sure that my bills are paid. So unless I keep, my wife and I call it watering the grass doesn't grow unless you water it. So we have to keep adding money, keep finding outside sponsors to keep this people stimulated to keep playing.
Great. All right. So what do we got? Your biggest match, win or loss, that had your biggest impact, whether you were 15 or 39. What was your biggest
Holy
match, win or
shit!
loss?
There's a two-part answer here.
Okay.
I was 20. 2 years old. Scott knows this story. Was playing Keith Bennett from North Carolina. Playing him even. Nikki Showman was staking me.
Oh, wow. I remember this. Yeah.
Oh, yes. I knew you knew it.
Wow.
Nikki Showman was staking me. We're playing races of 21. Best 2 out of 3 sets. 10,000 a set. He beat me 21-19, 21-20. So I lose 20. We play the next day for 15,000. I lose 21-20, 21-20. I lost 50,000 in 48 hours
4 games. By 4 games.
by 4 games. 5 games, call it whatever it was.
Yeah, 5 games.
And mind you, I was 22 years old, 21, 22, and I had never gambled those types of numbers before, ever. I basically went into a depressive state for about 3 to 6 months, just because I never understood the value of that type of gambling, and I didn't know how rich Nick Showman was. I should have realized how fucking
Yeah,
rich
Nick
he
matter.
was.
It didn't
he
matter.
didn't sweat it. He really didn't sweat it.
Bro, he didn't give a damn. And
But
me,
you're like me at Tony Bloom's. A lot of people same way. I hated losing others' money. It didn't matter how much money they had.
don't matter.
No.
And it ate at me for months, just ate at me. And I think it really affected the way I looked at gambling and get staked and all that stuff. It really taught me a lot. So I'm grateful for Keith Bennett drilling my nuts in, because I think I was getting to that stage where I was playing pretty good and I kind of felt like I was invincible. And he hurt me. He really cut me. And I realized that, hey, my shit stinks just like everybody else's. And the minute you underestimate your opponent is the moment you get your ass kicked.
Oh God.
So I kind of went in there with an exuberance, an overconfidence. I'm gonna rob this fucking guy. I've never
free
seen
money. Free money.
Free money. I'm gonna go win 30,000, 20,000, and it just really just kicked me dead in the nuts. And it was a very humbling experience, and I learned a lot from it. So that one, and probably the next best match I ever played was. I played Can Slim.
You can.
Cancel him. I
Yep.
gave him the call 8 playing 10 ball.
At the Derby?
No, at Griff's.
At Griff's. Okay.
Hank Smith was staking him.
Hank the
Hank
Tank.
to this day, Hank still says it's the greatest set of 10 ball he's ever seen in his life.
Was it streamed?
No.
Okay.
I played him a race of 35. Magic
was
Rack
this?
10 ball. This was 2017.
Okay.
This is when Can was playing his best pool. That's
Mhm.
that's around when he was playing his best pool.
Yeah. I broke and ran. Now, obviously not in a row. 21 out of 35 games.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
I had him, I think, like 22-3 at one point, something like that, something insane. And he broke and ran like 3 or 4 racks, just like rushing around the table, give up stroke, and I ended up winning like 35-11 or something like that.
Big match.
And it showed me what I was capable of when I was working so hard. I had been practicing every day. I was doing 7-ball run. So I was in dead punch and I was playing so good. And it kind of gave me the confidence booster that, hey, I can play. I can handle these fucking guys. You know what I mean? I can beat them. So definitely 2 extremes there. One at the lowest point, and then one at my highest point. So that's why I wanted to throw that one in there, because, as devastating as this game can be and as cruel as it can be very euphoric and it can be very beautiful, because I remember beating him in that set. We bet like 15,000. We bet a big set back then.
Yep.
And it was a pretty awesome feeling.
Yeah,
I
there's nothing like a feeling when you play so good, right? And you're just on top of the world, you win big money, and you feel like you're the man. And
it feels great.
All right, I know it's getting late. We're gonna have one more thing to talk about, and I'm sure you probably talked to this like a beat horse, but let's talk about your Johnny Archer match. Let's go over that a little bit. It's been a little while since you played him, right? That was 2 years ago, was it?
No, it was
Year and a
it's gonna
half
be on
ago?
5 years. 5 years
Oh,
now.
5 years ago played? Okay. All right, yeah.
Mhm.
So wow. Okay, I'm a little bit off on that one.
I
But
didn't think it was that long either. I
Yeah.
didn't think it was that
Yeah, it
no,
was
long.
4 years this past February. So it's going on 5 years.
so can you talk a little bit about that story? Let our listeners know. Obviously Johnny Archer, huge pool name, and of course big name as well. You guys have some action
Mhm.
at your room. Can you tell us what happened and what's going on now, actually, to this day?
If you
Well,
want, Oscar,
no,
if you
no, no,
want.
of course. Yeah, I don't mind. I have nothing to hide. I played Johnny like 7 years ago out in Atlanta at his pool room. We were supposed to bet set for 25,000. So I never liked carrying more cash than what I was willing to bet. So if I was going to play a set for 25,000, that's all I brought, like 25,100. This is when I was dealing with cash. Um, I get there and he pulls out. It's like a 16K bet, whatever. I win. He fucking pays me in 20s and 10s. Have
The
you ever seen
machines. The
16,000?
machines.
Right. He pays me in fucking 20s and 10s.
It's a
Well,
big bag.
Dippy did post with me 320,000 fives, tens, 20s, and 50s, but that
What
took
the?
6 hours to count. It was
Yeah,
That was
unbelievable.
pretty
that's
funny.
Yeah.
That
fuck.
was our last podcast. That was a good one or two ago.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. So you know how it is. I mean, it's a pain in the ass. Anyway, so I beat him. And he says, Oscar, we're going to play again. We're going to play again. Like, yeah, whatever. Of course, I'm going to play you again. Then we end up playing at Griff's.
So you did get the money though that time. It was just
I did get the money. I
all
got paid.
20s.
I got
Okay.
paid in full, so I
Okay.
didn't think much of it. He
Yep.
had a good record with me. So then again, we're going to do a set for 25,000 or 50,000. I just say heads, heads, heads. Whatever you want to bring together, let's play. Of course, last minute he does the same bullshit. People start backing out. We bet 12,100. Don't ask. That's what he wrote down, and that's what I bet. So I won, and Tommy Medina is there. He's staking me part of the game, and Tommy stakes Johnny Archer against Salt Lake Bernie. Obviously, you know Scott knows Bernie Devlin really well,
Mm-hmm.
and they play a set for 10,000, and Johnny wins. So Tommy, being the generous guy that Tommy is, ships him 50%. So not only did Johnny stiff me, hey Chrissy, sorry. You can go ahead. I'm like, sorry. So not only does Johnny stiff me, he makes an extra 5,000 off of Tommy. And he tells Tommy, hey, you know what? I owe you from the gambling debt. Just I'll take 3,000 and you keep 2,000. So now Johnny owes me 10-1. And Johnny's like, hey, I have money in PayPal, blah, blah, blah. I have all this money coming in. Let me collect it all and give it to you. I didn't think much of it because Fat Boy was taking most of his action. So I said, yeah, I'm going to go to dinner. I'm going to go to bed and I'll see you tomorrow. No problem.
I'm thinking nothing. You
Everything's
think we're
fine.
gonna get paid? Simple dipple.
No, he's just collecting the money from PayPal and all the bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't think a single thing out of it because everything seems up and up. And then I text him, I call him. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and he hasn't messaged me. Like, hey Johnny, I gotta leave soon. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about flying back, so let me know. Let me know. That's it.
Where were you at, Oscar?
I was in Vegas still. We're playing at Griff's.
Okay. See, I was just not up on any of this. All I knew is that he owed you, and I've seen this stuff afterwards. But
We're
okay.
playing at Griff's, and then I flew out the next day. He never answered me, so I fly out the next day. He says, Oscar, as soon as I get home, I collect all the money. I'll PayPal you. Like, yeah, no problem. Just whatever. It's for Johnny fucking Archer, right?
Right.
Right. And just so you know, Scott, Oscar, we had a story similar to Scott talking about this in Vegas. He's got a couple guys. If you need a couple guys, I'm sure he can give you the number. I'm sure he can give you the number off air.
Well,
Yeah.
not hold on real quick, Oscar. And Oscar knows this. Oscar's class act, but You know, the thing is, like, I was on the road with Johnny. Johnny was the player of the '90s. Like, everybody know, Oscar knows how good Johnny used to play. That's kind of the sad thing in all of this, for me, and it actually hurts a little bit, right? Like
It does.
the way this went
He was
down.
so good. He was player of the decade. He was.
Yeah, but he was also a good guy. Like, everybody liked him.
Yeah.
There was never anything. Johnny was a funny guy. Everybody liked him. So it's
Yep.
just, it
Yeah.
hurt. It stings me a little bit more than maybe some people that aren't as well attached to
Doesn't
both of
know
these
him. Yeah,
guys.
doesn't know him
Both
for
of
sure.
these
Yeah.
guys. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And even today, like I can sympathize with him.
Sure.
I understand what a difficult position he was in because of the mistakes he made to his own accord. He made his mistakes and whatever it is that happened. Um,
So you're trying to
but
call him. So you're trying to call him, right?
oh
You're
yeah, so I'm trying to
Yep.
call him, and then he never answered, and then a week goes into a month, and then 2 months, and then sure enough, I had Josh Aryeh was in with me, good friend of mine. He was betting like 2,000. Alan Swart had like 1,000. I gave him like a small piece, and I text. They're like, "Hey, where's Johnny's money?" They thought I got paid, and they haven't. Like, "Hey, what's going on?" I'm like, Johnny hasn't fucking paid me, so I can't pay you guys if I haven't collected. The only person that got paid out of all of it was Tommy Medina off that one set. At the end, Johnny did send me some. He still owes me 6,500 to date. He owes me 6,500, and I've reached out to him maybe in the last 3 years. I've reached out twice, um, and both times he said I don't have the money,
Yeah.
and I've left it at that. And here's the thing that makes it all the more sad. $6,500. That money doesn't pale in comparison to the damage he's received in bad PR and
Oh my
negative.
God. From
Um,
everything, every show,
everything just goes, oh, pay Oscar, pay Oscar. He's never going to pay it, and I know that. I'm not stupid. I'm a realist.
Well,
He's
I
got no
think I
reason
think
to.
once that stuff came out, right? I try to think like on both sides of the fence. But once he got destroyed like that, at that point, it's like, how much worse can it get? Probably, right? That's probably what he's thinking. Like, how the fuck am I going to pay now?
Yeah,
I've
what
already
was it?
taken the beatings that anybody could ever take.
Yeah, I mean, he can try and regrow his brand, and people make mistakes. He can make an effort, and if he ever did make an effort, I'd be the first one to make it public, saying, "Hey, Johnny Archer's fucking trying to make it right."
Yeah.
He did pay me uh $100 at Derby 2 years ago. He owed me 6,600. Gave me $100. So I got the 250. He gave me two $50 bills. I said, "Oh, these are real lucky." I went straight to the slot machine. I swear to God, Scott, true story. I start
Oh
doing
boy.
$10 a spin. I say, "Fuck it." I never gamble slot machines, especially at $10 a spin. I hit for 350. I cash out. I turn that 100 into 350.
And that's amazing with $250 bills for people that don't know. In the pool world, we're superstitious. We don't like $50 bills, or we
Casinos too.
didn't. I don't mind
Casinos
them.
too.
I don't
I
mind
don't
them
mind
either.
them.
Now
I
I
take
don't
them.
mind them at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take everything. I'll take
Yeah.
fucking euros,
Yeah,
pennies,
that's right.
everything.
Yeah. I actually accidentally came back with $1,000 in Saudi money, and I totally forgot it. I put it in my wallet, and I never used it. I used credit card the whole time, but right when I got there, I totally forgot it. So hopefully I get to go back there next year. But anyway.
Yeah, I'll buy it off you if not, because I'm going.
Oh, when are you going?
Oh, next year.
Okay.
I won the qualifier, so
All right.
we'll
Yeah.
talk.
Sorry to get off subject.
That's all good. But yeah, Johnny hasn't paid me, and he hasn't really quite. He's made zero effort to communicate anything whatsoever to me. Um, so yeah, I wrote that off in my mind quite long ago, and wish him well. I hope he's doing well. I hope his kids are doing well. And like I said, it's it's disappointing. You know what I mean? Because someone I held in such high regard and somebody I looked up to.
Yeah.
And
Sad. It's sad. It is. It
It
really
is sad.
is. It is. It's sad.
Extremely sad. Extremely.
Well, let's end this on a positive note, Oscar.
Mhm.
You've been an awesome guest. It seems to
Thank
me, and Scott too. You seem like you're doing everything right. You're everything you're supposed to be doing as a man, as a business owner, and as a pool player. I know we would love to see you play in those 3 events to try to make a push for Mosconi. What you do is going to be up to you, obviously. But if you have anything else, Scott, but I want to say thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it, Oscar.
Absolutely, it's
Yeah.
been my pleasure.
Yeah, you killed it, dude. You're great. You're great with the people. You're great with the public. You're great as a player. You're great as a family man, and it's been a pleasure.
Tell Desiree that next time she gets mad at me.
Well, you call Erica while you're at it.
Yeah, I got you. I'll
All
cover
right,
for
all
you.
right.
You cover for me. Next
All
time
right,
we get in
buddy.
the doghouse, we're doing something dumb.
Right.
Well, when she watches, you'll see the shout outs we gave her. We gave her a couple, so
That's good.
we gave
That's good.
Desiree a couple. So, all right,
That's
Oscar.
awesome.
Thanks again, man. We really appreciate you, buddy.
All right, no problem, brother. I'll see you.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
Shout out to our amazing sponsors, Classic Billiards, Metro Sports Bar, Anytime Billiards, PNW Pool Thing, The Rack Billiard Club, JP Shower, Tommy's Tattoo Supplies, In the Box, Andy Gow, and Wayne Harriman. Make sure to check them out, and thanks for supporting the Boom and Freezer Show.